I picked this basil 2 days ago. I put it in this little berry basket and I've rinsed it off a couple of times a day with room temperature water, and it has stayed nice. It stayed nice. If I'd put this in the refrigerator, it would have turned black. So this is the way to keep basil at room temperature. I went outside and checked the beets, and it looks like I have enough to cook and pickle. And I think I read that when it's hot, that's the heat of the day, that's the time to pick things that grow under the ground. So like beets and onions and potatoes, that they send everything down underneath. For other things that grow on top of the ground, you want to pick them when it's not the heat of the day. So let's see how many red beets and white beets I can come up with here. These white beets are definitely ready. Now, I pulled a couple of red ones that from my vantage point looked like they were going to be a lot bigger than they were. So I'm going to let the rest of them go a few more days. Okay, now that last one, that's more the size I want to see on the red beet compared to those other ones. We'll take these inside and get them scrubbed up and start cooking. Well, you pull beets from the dirt, and so they are really dirty. These are going to take a bit of scrubbing. What I'm going to be doing is steaming these beets in the Instapot. So I have about a cup of water there in the basket. I'm going to put this basket in. You know what? I don't think there's going to be room. I'll just see how many beets I can get in top of here. Okay, I could fit all the white ones in, but not any of the red ones. So the red ones will have to wait. Maybe I'll dig a couple more so that I have a pan full for the red ones. Okay, while the beets are cooking, I'm going to get my pickling liquid ready. I found the recipe I used from last year, but I know it wasn't the right one because it had no water in it. If it just has sugar and then double the vinegar, it's really, really strong. The one I had with water was much better. Okay, I had these white beets in here for 35 minutes. Let's see if they're fork tender. That one looks good. All right. Yep, we're ready to plunge these into ice cold water and peel them. And then I'll stick the red ones in to cook them too. I'm going to take oh my goodness, these really are soft. Maybe they didn't quite need to be in there 35 minutes. Maybe 30 minutes. 30 minutes might be enough because these are, oh great, that one's stuck. That one's stuck. Put them in here. And let's get this get this out of here. Okay, now what I want to show you is how easy, just put these, everything just sort of, look at that. In just a few seconds, you have all the outside, all the stem, and the peeling comes right off. I will quarter these, and then I'll stick them in the brine, and then we'll put them in jars and stick them in the refrigerator. And while I peeled it, I'm going to be pickling that first group of white Avalanche beets. I'm going to be cooking this next group. And what I just found out today by looking at the seed packet, you know how I have that empty space now where I pulled up the broccoli because of the broccoli worms? Well, I can plant beets again, it said mid-July, and then I'll have a harvest in the fall. So that's what I plan to do in a couple of weeks. That empty space I have in the garden, I'm going to plant more of these beets. Probably not the white ones next time. All right, I've quartered these beets and I'm ready to put them in the jars, but I'm making an executive decision here. These beets are, well, they look sort of like the color of pears. They're kind of, canned pears are sort of grayish. So what I'm going to do is mix them together with the red beets so they'll be a more pretty pink color instead of this sort of unappetizing whitish gray color. All right, I've got the white beets and some onion slices in there. I'm just waiting for the red beets to get cooked, and I'll put them on top, pour the brine over it, and then we'll be good to go on these too. Okay, for the red beets, if you have the mixed pickling spice, that's great. I don't, so I usually just use cloves. I always have them on hand, and bay leaves, which I buy in the bulk because I use that to make I use it to make roast, I use it to make bone broth. So I'm just going to use that instead, but if you've got the mixed pickling spice, that works great. I have the sugar and the canning salt and the spices in here. All I need to do, I've got a cup of sugar in there, all I need to do is add a cup of water, 2 cups of vinegar, cook this for 10 minutes, and then it'll be ready to pour over the beets. Alright, the pressure is down now, the little button has gone down. I had a towel over the top of it to let the steam release. These I just cooked for 30 minutes, since for the white ones I think 35 was a bit much. let's test them. Okay, let's see if they're fork tender. Yeah, even that big one. If the big one is fork tender, then the rest of them definitely should be. All right. Oh, that's a lot of steam. Time to put these over here in the cold water. After I've cooled them down a little bit, I will peel them, quarter them, and put them in the jars with the white ones, and then we will be done. We'll just put those jars in the refrigerator, taste them in about a couple weeks or so, and they will last in the refrigerator for over a year. I still just ate some today that were from last year, and they're still every bit as good. Want to watch me slide the skins off again? Again, this is so easy. Oh, the rat tail just falls right off. This is so easy. You can do it one-handed. Two-handed, it's even fast, or it's even faster, even better, but look at that. Just a few seconds and everything comes off pretty as can be. If this were a beauty contest, it would be no contest. Avalanche, red ace all the way. These things are gorgeous. Now that I filled the jars, I see I didn't exactly fill the jars, no problem. Instead of that quart jar, filled a pint, so I ended up with 2 quarts and 1 pint. There's still plenty of beets out there. My favorite thing to do with these, besides just eating the beets, is once the beets are gone, to hard cook some eggs, peel them, put them in here, and have pickled eggs.